Good evening, y'all, and welcome to the Tips from the Top call tonight. I am going to be your host and guest speaker for the call tonight, and I'm super excited to share with you. As you probably already know, my name is Angie Zumwalt, and I am Diamond Ambassador. I joined Plexus in March of 2014. And I always kind of like to rewind back a little bit so that people know a little bit about my background. In 2013, July of 2013, I was laid off from the title company. If you know anything about the title and mortgage industry, it is crazy demanding business. Y'all, I worked about 50 hours a week or more at the end of the month. So really being laid off was really a huge blessing in disguise for me and my family, especially since we had just finalized the adoption of our son in March of that year, and he was only like 7 months old. So after a prayer, my husband and I decided that I would stay home with our children until after the first of the year. Well, the first of the year rolled around, and y'all, I just could not even imagine going back to work. Going back to work, working all those long hours. I mean, I had so many days that I would just bawl on my way home from work because I knew that I wasn't going to be there to tuck my babies in bed. They were going to be asleep by the time I got home, so I had no time with them. So I was doing everything I could to avoid the subject of going back to work. And I was just praying that there would be something out there that would allow me to stay home with my children. Meanwhile, my good friends, Andrea Mitchell and Ellen Ford, we all went to church together, and they started posting about some crazy stuff on Facebook. And honestly, I remember when Andrea started, I was thinking, okay, this girl just got hacked or something. Like, she's getting all these crazy posts. And I don't even know if I said anything to her, but I'm pretty sure I unfollowed her. And then Ellen started talking to me about it, and I'm thinking, why is Ellen posting about weight loss stuff? But I knew Ellen. We had gone to church together. We had known each other for a really long time. Her and her husband had been mentors of my husband and I. And I knew that Barry would not let her do anything that was wacky. And so, you know, I kind of talked to her about it, but I really was not interested. At that time, our money was so tight, and we had no room in the budget for anything extra. So Plexus just really wasn't in the cards at all. My husband really started putting more pressure on me about going to work. And so I remember Ellen and I having a conversation, and y'all, like, if you were recruited by Ellen, you know that she does not leave you alone. She was like on it every day, messaging me. Barry started in with my husband, and I'm so thankful that they did. But one day during our conversation that we were having, I had asked her about how much money she was making, and y'all, it just so happened to be the exact amount that me and my husband had agreed upon in order to continue to stay home. So, I mean, I was all in from there. I just had to convince my husband. And thank God for Barry Ford, because he did, you know, just talk my husband into letting me do it. So I started, and my husband was like, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to make the money to do it. Nothing is coming out of our budget. And so I was all in. I mean, all in. Every single thing that Ellen told me to do, I did. So, you know, when I started out, I was just all in for the business. I really did not expect to like have any health gain from this, maybe like lose a little bit of weight. But I noticed I was a huge soda drinker, coffee drinker. I drank about 2 to 3 cups of coffee in the morning. I go to Starbucks at least twice a day. And I went to Sonic like 2 to 3 times a day and got that really big Route 44 Cherry Coke, which, by the way, is 870 calories. And I had 3 of those a day. And that is not including the 2 Starbucks a day that I would have. And that's about another 500 calories, y'all. So, I mean, I was almost at my like calorie intake limit just on my drinks a day. I had horrible daily headaches. When my cycle would come around, I had horrible cramps, horrible migraines. And so I remember going to about 3 weeks in, going to Walmart, and like my kind of like shopping thing was I would immediately walk in the store. I would go get a soda and get a little snack and then walk around the grocery store. You know, I got like, and I tasted a drink of my soda and it tasted horrible. And I just thought like maybe it was bad. And so I got like my case of Cokes, and, you know, I got home and they still tasted bad. And it was just like, I no longer, you know, wanted or even craved to drink, you know, a Coke. And that was a really big deal. I was waking up in the morning, and at that time my son was about 7-8 months old, and he was not a sleeper. And he was one of those teethers that like the teeth would come in and then they would go back. And I didn't even know that they could do that, but they did. So I was exhausted, but I was waking up and feeling like really good. And this is a little TMI. If any men are on the call, I apologize, but I'm going to share this. I remember, you know, my cycle time came around and I'm like, whoa, how did this happen? Like, I didn't even expect anything because I wasn't bloated. I had no cramps and I had no headache. And then I realized like I was not having those daily headaches. So, you know, that's just a little bit about me that, you know, I've been able to, with doctor's approval, my daughter has been on the product. She has ADHD, and she has been able to get off of her medication. It's also helped my mom with her blood pressure level. My husband has now become a believer, and he's been on the products. He's feeling great. He's lost 20 pounds. And then just, I have so many testimony after testimony for all these people that are on the team. And I mean, I'm just so extremely thankful that I took that chance on Plexus. And so I was kind of thinking about, you know, what could I share with you that maybe I haven't already talked about. I know I've done individual calls for different teams, and I really wanted it to be something different, something maybe a little fresh. And maybe some of you have heard this part of my testimony, but if you have not, you know, I'm gonna share this with you. I'm a very vulnerable and kind of just, you know, I share my heart, and I share things that have happened, you know, to hopefully inspire and encourage you. And this weekend was such an emotional weekend. I mean, on many different reasons, but for me, you know, I remember driving up to the hotel this weekend, and then I was just overcome with so many emotions, y'all. And I was just like bawling in the parking lot. And I kept driving around because I was going to valet my car. But I just thought about how far God has taken me since this time last year. And I'll kind of explain that to you. So this time last year, y'all, I may have looked like, you could have looked at me and you would have thought, oh my gosh, Angie's on top of the world. Like, she's an Emerald Ambassador. She's earned a brand new Lexus. She's earned a trip to Hawaii. She won the shopping spree to Bloomingdale's. She's moved to Florida. She's at the beach all the time. Like, she is living the dream, right? I mean, that may have been what a lot of you have probably thought, because, you know, sometimes Facebook doesn't always tell us the truth about our life, or tell the truth about people's lives. And y'all, I mean, to be honest, I had kind of entered this really nasty depression. I had allowed some negative comments to kind of bring me down. And I had allowed comparison to totally take the best of me and kind of killed my business. And it was, it was a mixture of a lot of things that was going on with my business, with, maybe a few naysayers or different things, here or there. I'm a super, super sensitive person. And sometimes I have had to learn to overcome that with Plexus. But, at that point, I was still growing, and it was really hard for me to accept, certain, even if it was a good criticism, it was really hard, and I really took it to heart. And, I had moved to a new state. I had moved away from everything that I had known. It was just a really weird, my friends, my family, the whole adjustment period. And I felt kind of lonely. And I felt really depressed. And I entered into this, like, let's feel sorry for Angie phase, really for about 3-4 months. And, I started praying, and I'm like, God, please, show me why I'm here in this journey. Please take me out of this, help me learn whatever you're needing to teach me. Because I do believe that in the trenches is when God is doing some of his mightiest work and really preparing you for where he wants to take you. So I, started praying like, God, show me what your purpose for me is in this business, why you have me where you have me. Help me be thankful and grateful for the place that where you have me at. And I will never forget, and until this day, it is such an emotional part of my journey. And I know that I've shared it with the person that sent it, but I had someone out of the blue, a downline, message me. And they shared with me, and I probably get all like teary-eyed and start crying, but sorry. They shared with me like exactly what I had been praying to God to reveal to me his purpose for me, and why I was put in the position and where I was in my journey. And then after that, it was like I had person after person reach out to me and pour into me. And that's what I want to tell you, first of all, if you have someone in your upline that has inspired you, has encouraged you, please share that with them. Because we can look all like good and great and we're on top of the world, but I cannot tell you that was what I had been praying for, and it completely helped me do a 180 with my business. So be the light and encouragement to other people. If that is laid upon you, please reach out to them and let them know. So I just feel like God was just sending all of these angels to help me find his purpose for me in this journey. And, that kind of leads me to some of my tips. My biggest tip for you is your mindset in this journey is huge. I took this Leslie Zann training, and she talks about mindset, and her quote is, mindset trumps skill set every single time. And y'all, that is so true. You don't have to know it all. You don't, sorry, I just lost my train of thought, but you don't have to know it all. But if you believe in yourself, that will help you get to the top. So believe in yourself and learning how to believe in these products. If you do not believe in these products, if you've maybe been on it for a while and you feel like you're not getting the results that you want or need, talk to your upline, talk to a sideline, really work out what you need to do in order to make these products work successfully for you. But your belief in this business is your belief, your mindset is so huge. It is so important to always remember that we are all on our own journey. Your journey is unique to you. And I think it's so easy to look at, the leaderboard comes out, or, this person ranks up again, and see these people flying through the company. And it is so easy to compare yourself to their journey. But your journey, you've got to remember that your journey is unique to you. And I am telling you, if it took you 10 years to get to where I am today, y'all, it would be so worth it. It would be so worth it. You are going to have setbacks in your business. This is not just going to be a business where you just, where you just keep rising to the top. I mean, there are going to be setbacks. There are going to be discouragements, but you've got to learn to persevere through those, and know that during those times, to me, during those times of discouragement, or where I just feel like, I'm spinning my wheels and I'm getting nowhere, I sit back and I lean on the Lord, and I ask him, like, okay, Lord, like, show me reveal to me why you have me here. And I start putting things into action, because, that is my next thing. Action is huge. Action, activity. It is so important that you are doing your daily activity. Action is going to kill doubt. Activity is it will drown out your fear, drown out your negative feelings. Stop saying, if I can only get that, I hear this all the time. And you know what? I've even been one to say this, like, gosh, if I could only get that rock star, if I could only get that person on my team, that's going to blow it out of the water. You know what? Be your own rock star. You be the person that's going to be blowing it out of the water. You be that person that is consistently posting on Facebook, that is consistently doing your 5-3-1. And if you don't know what your 5-3-1 is, I will explain that really quick. So 5-3-1 is reaching out to 5 people every single day, 5 new people. And I always say, work your business like a business. I always tell people, try to do your reach outs Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. I do take my day of rest on Sunday, and sometimes in the evenings, I might do some stuff, but I try to keep my family for Sunday for sure. But reaching out to 5 people Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. And you know what? If 5 people scare you to death, start with 3, start with 2, but start with something. Reaching out to those people. And then the 3 is following up with 3 people a day. And then the 1 is train 1. So that may be yourself. I really believe that you need to make sure that you are pouring into yourself at least 15 minutes a day. Whether that be, y'all, I mean, we're busy people. We're always in our car. We could drive our kids to school and listen to a YouTube video, or listen to a book on CD in our car. Like, make your car a rolling university. There is no excuse why you cannot carve out 15 minutes a day to do some kind of personal development or building. It will change your business, I promise you. Make sure that you are, with your activity, that you are at least, always try to set a goal to add at least 3 people every single month. Y'all, even at Diamond, almost 3 years into the business, I try my best, and I usually always get really close, if not surpass it, to go silver every single month. As a leader, it is important to remember, and I will tell you, even if you have 1 ambassador underneath you, you are a leader. Even if you have 1 customer, you are a leader. And And people, a leader sets the tone and the pace for their team and their customers. If you aren't taking your products consistently, why should your customers take their products consistently? If you aren't leading by example and doing your 5-through-1 every day and posting on Facebook every day, then your team is not going to be doing it either. You cannot ask your team to do something that you're not doing. And you know, it's true when they say, like, the more action that you take, the more success you will have in this business. And that is so, so very true. Get a sideline partner or a mentor. You know, they talked about it Super Saturday this weekend, getting a running buddy, but not let this be just someone like, hey, Sally, you know, we're going to run and we're going to do this together. Like, make this actually be like, okay, we're going to run and we're going to do this together. If you're not doing, you know, these are the things, like, set up goals between each other. Like, okay, these are the things we need to do. Okay, Angie, you know, I noticed you really haven't been posting today, or did you reach out to your, you know, 5 people today? Hold each other accountable. Be that, you know, accountability partner. Lift each other up. I really want to encourage you to stay away from negativity. Stay away from, if you've got someone that is, you know, maybe you have chosen a running buddy and they've kind of like gone down the negative, you know, maybe it's time to find a new running buddy. You need to make sure that your running buddy is positive and uplifting, not discouraging. Y'all, if you ever feel discouraged, the first thing I want to encourage you to do, because this is something that for so long when I was feeling so discouraged, I just held it in and I let it consume me. But when I finally, you know, started speaking it and letting it out and praying about it, I mean, the floodgates opened and my business changed, my life changed. So first and foremost, if you are feeling down or discouraged about your business, make sure that you talk to someone. But I want to encourage you to always vent up. Do not complain on your team page. Do not complain on your Facebook page. Go to your upline, go to maybe a sideline, but never go to someone in your downline and complain. You really want to make sure that you are being the light and encouragement to your downline. And I'm not saying be fake or not be real, but if you're being negative, I mean, negativity breeds negativity, and you are not going to grow in a negative place. So I really want to encourage you to try to stay positive and try to stay away from negativity and from negative people. And that goes across the board on your team page, with your running buddies, and even on your Facebook page. You know what? If I am posting on my Facebook page, man, me and my husband just gotten this knocked down the other day. And then the next post, it's like, hey, come have fun with me and join Plexus. I mean, are you going to want to join my Plexus team if I'm being like negative about my husband, which, you know, I would never do that. But, you know, you've really got to think about your negativity, and you really got to think about that. You are a poster for health and wellness. And you're a poster for, what was the tag this weekend for Plexus? It was happiness and health. So I'm not saying that you have to like be fake on Facebook, but I am saying that you really need to, I mean, it's just like, you really need to make sure that you are trying to refrain from the negativity. And then, you know, also, you're a poster board for health and wellness. If you're posting going to McDonald's and Krispy Kreme donuts all the time, that's not really health and wellness. That's not going to want to make me take Plexus. If you're talking about ProBio helps with sugar cravings, but you're always going and eating a donut, I'm like, well, she needs to up her ProBio or find something new. So think about that when you post stuff too. you really want to be cautious about what you're posting on Facebook. Personal development, y'all, is huge. And when I say personal development, or when I started, I always thought like personal development was, like read, Sarah Robbins, How to Work Your Network Marketing Business, or Eric Worre. That is your business development. That is key to your growth as well. But you know what? If you're not right inside, you are not going to be successful at your business. So what I feel like, to me, personal development is investing in yourself. For me, that's leaning on the word. That's doing my quiet time. And then, I try to do, at least 5-10 minutes a day of maybe reading a couple of pages of a personal development book. If you want some recommendations, one of my very, very favorites is Switch Your Brain On. This book, y'all, is fabulous. It is, it goes into, I love it because it kind of goes into the scientific, like how your body is made, but then it ties it into scripture. It is just such a good thing. And then it does a whole 30-day brain detox at the end. So that's a really good book. There's also What to Say When You're Talking to Yourself, and Self-Talk, Self-Talk, Soul Talk is a good book too. When I started struggling, another thing that I did is I prayed for God to give me a verse with his promises to me. And I would really just, kind of think about, and I would go on Facebook, inspirational, in the images, inspirational quotes, inspirational Bible verses. And I would find one that I felt like was speaking to me at that particular time in my journey. And I would save it to the wallpaper of my phone, wallpaper and screensaver of my phone. Because what do we look at the most all day long? And this is really sad that we do this, but we look at our phone. And so every time I would look down at my phone, I would see that Bible verse and I would say, okay, one of mine was Psalms 46:5. If God is within her, she will not fail. And I kept thinking, okay, Angie, you can do this. You're not going to fail. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. That was another one that I did. And then, Ephesians 3:20 was another one that I had saved. That's one that I have right now, and just believing that Ephesians 3:20, that God wants to bless me exceedingly abundantly more than I can ever dream or imagine. And I would just, every time I would look at my phone, I would tell myself that over and over and over. And, it's like a positive affirmation. Just really, the more that you pour into your mind, you start really believing that. And that helps with your mindset so much. I know that I haven't personally been wonderful at doing this. I know that a lot of people say the personal affirmations, where you just kind of write down 3 affirmations about yourself and tell yourself that every single day. It's kind of along the same lines of what I was doing with my scripture. But I highly, highly recommend that. Y'all, be coachable and teachable. Be willing to accept constructive criticism. Find the truth in that criticism and make the changes. As I've told you earlier, y'all, I am a super sensitive person, and I promise you, not intentionally, because Ellen Ford is just kind of she's going to tell it like it is. But you know what? I needed that, because I needed someone to just be willing to tell me the hard stuff. But the thing that I needed even more is I needed to be willing to accept it, find the truth, and make the change. And for so long, when I would hear the hard stuff, maybe from her, even my husband would tell me stuff, or, family members, it kind of just a long thing. But once I finally was like, you know what? This doesn't define me. They are trying to help me. And I would pray about it every time, I would honestly, and I still do because it's kind of a growing thing. If someone gives me constructive criticism, I'm like, gosh, that kind of hurts my feelings. And then, I kind of have to take myself back and pray about it. I try to find truth in it. And then I see where I can make those changes. So y'all, I will tell you, if you are not coachable and teachable, you will not grow in this business. That is a huge, huge thing. You've got to be willing to be coachable and teachable. And also, this doesn't happen overnight. Getting to diamond does not happen without hard work and sacrifice. Y'all, losing points, losing people, all of those things, rejection, I guarantee you a diamond has had it tenfold. The only difference between me and a diamond and anyone else is that we have just chosen to persevere through that. There are going to be downfalls in your business, but you have to be willing to persevere through that. You have to be willing to make the sacrifices. You cannot expect to work your business 2 weeks a month and then cash out and expect it to grow. You can't expect, and I might get a little harsh here, and that's totally not like me, but I will say, I see so many people get to, a certain rank, whether it be like gold, senior gold, even ruby and plexus, and then all of a sudden they don't put into what they were, and they just, people fall off, customers fall off, they're like, oh, everybody's quitting, my whole team's falling apart, I just can't do this anymore, my points are going backwards. But you know what? 99% of the time, they are not doing what they were doing in order to get to the place they were before. So you have got to continue working your business. You can't just expect to work your business. You can't work your business sometimes and just every once in a while and expect to reap a harvest. And you've got to know that there are, there are times in the business that there are busy seasons and there are low seasons, and you have to be willing to persevere through that. Don't be like the sky is falling every time someone quits your team. Y'all, people quit. People say no. It is okay. But I want to tell you, we have products and we have a business opportunity that is changing people's lives. And you need to remember that, and you need to keep persevering and keep sharing. And if you are willing to persevere, that is what it's going to take in order to get to the top. Lastly, your upline is not your boss. Your upline is, there are a lot of people. I have a sweet friend who is almost a Sapphire ambassador who did not even have an upline. But you know what she did? She reached out to other people. She went herself. She was proactive. She went herself. So y'all, we are very fortunate on our team to have phenomenal uplines. We are very fortunate on our team to have so much training, because when I started, we did not have anything, and I had to make up my own training, and I had to go on YouTube and search my own videos, because if you really want this, you are not going to make the excuse that your upline did not train you, that your upline did not show you that. You are going to go out and you are going to find that training. You are going to get the help. You are going to do it yourself. Just know you are the only person that is holding yourself back from your own success. I want you to know that I truly, truly believe that every single one of you can make it to diamond. But you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to make the necessary sacrifices. But I really, really do believe that you all can do this. And I hope that what I feel like I was like getting on my like high horse there for a minute, so I'm sorry. But and know that, you know, when I first started, and it's crazy because when I first started, I did not like to tell anybody the hard stuff. That is something that is really, it's pretty exhausting to me, but I have learned how to kind of overcome that and start, you know, and I've learned how to, you know, get out of my comfort zone and do those things. I mean, there are going to be a lot of things in this business that are hard, that are out of your comfort zone. But I'm telling you, one thing that I never expected is to have so much personal growth and development through this journey. So I am going to look to see, I don't know if we have questions here. Okay, so for ADHD, the products that I recommend, obviously I recommend the triplex, and I also recommend the X Factor. I have a little information. I am not product guru, but I have done research, and I have it like in a little section that I can share with you all later. I can post it on the team page. I can post it underneath the call. Why specifically some of these products can help with that. But definitely I always recommend like the triplex and the X Factor. But you know, like my daughter will not drink Plexus. I think it's just kind of that tween thing that, you know, she's like, oh, it tastes disgusting, I'm not going to drink it. But I do get her, oh, and also Mega X. So I do have her on the Bio Cleanse, the Pro Bio, and the Mega X. And then sometimes I'm not always good about remembering the X Factor because it's in the morning. But that was all with like trying to be compliant. That was all with doctor's approval. I did go and seek her doctor's approval before I did any of that stuff. And she's 11 years old, in case, but she has been on these products since she was 8 years old. Then let's go down to see. Okay, I think I talked about the personal development. So for a business book, if you do not have Sarah Robbins' How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business, y'all, I do not like to read. And this is the like short book. I don't even think it's 50 pages. I don't know, 100 pages. But it is very practical tips on how to work your business. I usually, if you sign up with me, you usually get that. I usually give it to people once I kind of see them working their business. If they go silver, you know, that's kind of usually something that I send to my level ones or people in my downline. But that's a really good book for like business aspects. There's a lot of other really ones for business aspects, but for personal development specifically for personal development, I love this book, Switch Your Brain On, and then What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I think that that's really good book, and you know, that's personal development, like investing in yourself in your mind. You know, self-talk, soul talk is also a good book. And I have like I got this. Oh, well, this is for, I got this action, y'all, this is awesome. I got this High Action Achievers book. I was trying to find the front page, but I can't find it. But anyway, oh, here it is. Anyway, this book is awesome. It's the High Achievers Playbook. It's for network marketing professionals. So it's actually kind of a guide specifically tailored for network marketing professionals, and I really love it. But in the front of it, I'll take a picture and post it. It's got a lot of great now business development books. But then also, you know, business development wise, you can also go to YouTube. There are so many fabulous videos out there on YouTube that you can watch if you just type Plexus YouTube. Let's see, health and happiness. Okay, so what video, the question is, what video can you send people when they want more information? So mine is always like, okay, I always want to know, like, what kind of information are they wanting? If someone messages me specifically and, okay. Okay, I don't know how to stop that. Okay, sorry about that. If someone messages me, like, you know, what is Plexus? I kind of have this little thing, and I will also share that. So that, you know, I will share with them. I will share with them kind of a little blurb on what is Plexus, a little bit like about the product. And if you can mute yourself, I don't know who that is. But I'll share a little bit about it. I'm gonna mute because somebody's like, I don't know where they are, but just okay. So I'll share a little bit about the products, but the biggest thing is I ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions, and I recommend that. So, like, you know, I might say, like, you know, here's a little bit about Plexus. And I always ask them, you know, tell me what your health goals are, and are you taking any medications? And I will tell you the reason why I ask is, no, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not trying to, like, diagnose anyone. But I ask people about what their health goals are because I want to know more than weight loss. What are you looking for? And some people still come back, my health goal is to lose 20 pounds. Well, and then that's when the kind of like, are you on any medications kind of comes into play. Because a lot of times people won't tell you if they have anxiety, if they have migraines, if they have a thyroid disorder or whatever, you know, they have going on. But then they can list out their medications and you could know right away, okay, she's taking Prozac, Synthroid, and Imitrex. So she's, you know, the Prozac is, you know, anxiety and mood disorders. The Imitrex is for migraines. Synthroid means she has a thyroid disorder. And so immediately I can respond back to her. I can look at the products and like, okay, you know, she really needs the triplex, or, you know, she really needs the triplex and the X factor. And then I go into detail about, hey, the probiotic has really helped me with the probiotic, and actually the accelerator has really helped me with lower my anxiety and improve my mood because the probiotic, you know, XYZ, and I tell her why. And then, you know, the accelerator has 5-HTP, which is a natural serotonin enhancer. You know, the X factor might be good for you because you have a thyroid disorder, so you might have some vitamin, you know, I'm not like a product guru, but a lot of times what I'll do is I kind of go and I research, okay, what are these products for? And then I go back to Plexus and go, okay, what products do we have that can help these things? And so I form up an email and I kind of tailor it around more of health and, you know, feeling better than the weight loss. So, you know, that's what I usually do. I just try to ask a lot of questions when they respond back to me. And, you know, here's the thing too. People like to talk about themselves. And so when you're constantly like asking them questions, people like that. So really get to know them more, ask them questions. And you know what? Sometimes you need to just say, hey, can I have your number and we can talk a little more about this, and take it offline. And as far as the video, you know, I might share like, you know, I might share the product video. It really just depends on the situation. I might share the product video. I might share the compensation video. I might find a diamond documentary that I feel like relates to that person, and I'll say, hey, this really made me think of you, and send it to them. And that has been really successful. So my journey, you know, I went silver and gold like pretty quickly. I went silver in March, like I think within a week of signing up. I went gold in May. And then I went senior gold in, gosh, I don't even know, in like October or something. And kind of went really, really fast until, you know, I got to emerald. And then that's when I had this big stall. So from emerald to sapphire was one of my longest times. So that took me 8 months. And then I think from sapphire to diamond took me like 6 months. But you know, here's the biggest thing. It would be so easy to look at a lot of people's journey. I mean, we've got so many people that went to diamond in like 13 months. Y'all, it is so important. Do not compare. Do not compare, you know, how quickly I went somewhere or how slow or whatever. Just know that your journey is unique to you, and do not compare, because I'm telling you, that comparison will hold you back. So let's see. Okay, wait. I think I just did. Sorry, I think I skipped. Okay. Okay. So I think I went through all of the questions. We still have about 10 minutes. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself or just type it in the little chat thing. I'll give you just a couple of minutes if anyone wants to do that. But if not, I will post underneath the thing for the call today, kind of just some little things that I have saved in my phone that I use when, you know, for different reasons, kind of a little blurb about, you know, what is Plexus, and I have a little thing typed up. I have some little cliff notes, you know, whatever I have, I'll put it in the notes section, or I'll put it in the comment section of the post that we did. And then I'll also put down the books that we talked about. And I do really highly recommend you to get a planner, get something to keep yourself organized. Y'all, I am not an organized person. It's probably one of my weakest points. And yes, Plexus got me. Yeah, if you got the one from Plexus, that's awesome. You know, before Plexus, I never had a calendar, never wrote things down. I kind of like to fly by the seat of my pants. If you know me, like that's like the way that I love to do things. But I learned very quickly that I cannot do things that way. I had to force myself, and it was very uncomfortable. And but now that I have gotten in the routine, I have an Erin Condren planner. I think we also have, I have so many different planners, but got into the routine, just get some kind of system, some kind of routine for your follow-ups, and just try to write everything down. I mean, I highly recommend the Erin Condren calendar. It has been a godsend to me. So, hold on. I think okay. 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 I was just making sure we didn't have anything else. So, always feel free to message me if you have any questions. If there's anything that I can help you with, please feel free to reach out to me. Know that sometimes my messages get really crazy. Sometimes my kids are on my phone and they look at my messages and I never see them. So please, if you have messaged me and I did not respond to you, please, please, please message me again. I promise it's maybe because I forgot, maybe because I didn't even see it. So please feel free. And I am so thankful for all of you being on this call tonight. I am so thankful for all of you on this team. I pray for you every single day. And I'm excited to be with you all in Hawaii this year or next year. So have a good night. Thank you very much.